Hello everyone and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, Abzan Yuna. So I've played Yuna deck before and it was really focused on putting cards in the graveyard. This time I'm running Yuna like I normally would to play Zur in a enchantment deck. But this deck is a little bit special. We actually do not have the Beanstalk or the Leyline Binding package. This deck is all about Yuna kind of top off the curve with Overlord the Balemurk, Overlord the Hauntwoods, getting us all of our value, and Overlord the Mistmoors getting us the board presence. So this idea, instead of trying to get Beanstalk for a lot of card draw, it's all about answering early game creatures, using Fenrir to ramp, well, for one, and then using Overlord the Hauntwood to ramp again, and then finally ending off with a Virtue Persistence. The crazy combo in this deck is Virtue with Yuna. If you have these two cards out, it's kind of like infinitely reanimation, because Yuna can bring back Virtue, and Virtue can bring back Yuna, and our opponent has to kill both of them in one turn in order for that combo to kind of fizzle, and that's very difficult in Standard for a lot of decks to do. Along with that, once Virtue gets to stick on board, and Yuna gets to stick on board, then we can start bringing back a bunch of creatures in return. We can bring back our Overlord the Balemurk, Overlord the Hauntwood for damage, and we can also bring back the summon Primal Odin for the endgame, for the deal damage win game. And the great thing about Yuna is that it gives Odin trample, so we can actually get through very quickly to get the lethal. So that is the idea of the combo we're trying to do with this deck. Another Odin deck, yes, I know, but there's only one off. It's kind of a fringe part of this combo, and the heart is still Yuna here. So let's talk about the deck list. Turn 1, we're early game, we want to have 4 cut down and 4 go for the throw and 2 know where to run. I know I always talk about running 2 cut down and 2 disfigure, but this deck I wanted to go just, as straightforward as possible, also 2 virtue. So we got 12 removals in the early game just for survivabilities, and cut down's pretty important against Swiss Fears that the disfigures won't really answer that easily, and for this deck we really need to make sure we last till turn 3, turn 4, right? So that's why there's 4 cut downs in the deck. Swiss Fear is a 1-2, if it gets prowess it becomes a 2-3, so disfigure can't kill it, a cut down can still kill that. So that is the idea of our removal package. And then we also have 4 Dredgers Insight and 4 Overlord of Balemurk to mill cards into the graveyard on turn 2. And in turn 3, we have 4 Summon Fenrir and 4 Overlord of Hauntwood for ramp. So you can see the curve, even though at first it looked like a triangular curve, it actually tapers out pretty well because of all the impending abilities and fits exactly what we want to do. Turn 1 and maybe turn 2 interaction, and if we don't need to interact turn 2, we want to fill our graveyard. Turn 3 we want to start ramping, and then we get all the good stuff out. Turn 4 we could definitely hit Overlord of the Mistmoors as the impending 4 mana, or you don't have to do that if you ramp at all. Turn 4 is a 5-drop, so we could play Summon Titan. Summon Titan is a good summon, mill 5, you know what, it's hard to put it along, let me put it over here. Summon, mill 5 cards, return all, chapter 2, return all lands, and then turn 3, return all lands from graveyard to play, tapped, and then chapter 3, no one cares, no one cares about chapter 3, it's all about milling 5 cards and then returning all the lands. But the biggest thing about that is, well, we return all the lands, we can start getting a lot of unit value very quickly. And turn 5, of course, if our opponent taps out like an idiot, we're going to Yuna them on turn 5. And if we ramped on turn 3, that means turn 4 Yuna. Turn 4 Yuna with the turn 2 putting things in the graveyard is insane. Just imagine that if we happen to mill a Virtue, that could be a turn 4 Yuna into a Virtue. So now, immediately, our opponent has to answer both Yuna and Virtue going into potentially their turn 4 if we happen to go first. That's crazy, and we can very quickly get lethal that way. And finally, of course, we top that off with Summon Primal Odin. Just one off for the Zentetsuken for a insta-kill, but more than likely, this is just a, oh, Yuna brings it back, we kill a creature sort of idea. It's not going to be insane, but good enough to have that extra package. If you don't have to summon Primal Odin, you can always put Bahamut. I think a lot of people crafted Bahamut, and it might work just as well, if not even better, but I wanted to try this in the deck just to have a finisher, because against a lot of the blue-eye control decks, Bahamut's not going to do it. But this Primal Odin might, just one attack can get us the kill very quickly. Let's talk about the land base. 24 lands, even though we are a sort of ramp deck, a lot of the ramp comes from Overlord, which does not require lands in the deck. It just, it creates lands out of nowhere. So we do need some basic lands for summon Fenrir, so we have a lot of basics. 2 plains, 3 swamps, 3 forests, 4 Concealed Courtyard, 4 Blooming Marsh, and 4 Wastewood Verge. Along with that, 4 starting towns. So you might think, hey, what the heck? There is no... There is no surveil lands in the deck. Normally, these kind of deck run a lot of surveil lands. Well, look at that. We don't have any, what's that called again? The Leyline Binding effect. So, domain, that's the card. Yeah, we don't have any domain, so we don't need basic land type at all, even though Overlord Hauntwood give us basic land type. And more importantly, we need to have black and green in the early game. We don't have that many white, right? Yuna and Overlord is the only white spells, so we don't need that many plains. What we need are Blooming Marsh, Wasteful Verge to get us the green by default, so we can ramp quickly, and then the Concealed Courtyard give us the black by default so that we can start cutting things down and going for the throats. That's kind of the idea. This deck looks to be fairly synergistic, and I don't know how strong. We're going to have to go check out in the standard metagames. Alright, our opponent is Endless. He has got the Endless Ambition. And we get to go first. Okay. I will need another green for the Overlord. Let's hope we get there. Alright, let's go to the inside. Guess we summon Titan? I don't know, do I just turn to land? Summon Titan can also be brought back with the Overlord, so no reason to do that right now. Who do I control twice? It's not very fun, huh? Another Overlord? It's also not very fun. Don't think there's a counter unless you pay 1 kind of spell. Three Overlords, no green. No more lies. He's gonna stock up. We're gonna miss a turn. He's probably just gonna hold in his mana now. Verge. I mean, we could just keep slamming the Overlords and hope something sticks. Yeah. Can't believe our first Overlord stuck. And he's gone. Stock up again. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Well, I think we played another Overlord. No sticks is fun. And we play the Overlord, the Balemurk. What did we return? Summon Titan or summon Fenrir? Fenrir does allow us a ramp. And Yuna could bring back the Titan, although it's probably gonna die. Wow. Okay, we attack with the Overlord, gives us a land. Ryzen, of course you do. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9. We can Overlord again. Did I miscount by 1? Somehow miscounted by 1, huh? I don't think the colored mana matters now that I have so many other worlds out there. Get lost. Oh, we're getting boar wiped here. Is it ultimate time? Yuna's gonna bring back. Let's bring back this Overlord. And now we can bring back Summon Titan. Although I'm pretty low on deck. It's gonna have to kill my unit right now. Beza. He gets a treasure and he gets some fish. Have lifelink. I don't know how much of that matters here. Attack with this. I'm gonna mill myself a little too hard, huh? I think I'm okay with that. You can keep the fish. Do I want to play? I mean, I probably want to play the Fenrir. Let's get more lands out. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could have gotten a Virtue out. Should have thought about that. Meringue River region. Is it hardcast? No, just draw cards. Oh wow, okay. Yuna got there. What happened to your endless ambition? Alright, our opponent is Thor 76. It's like Fallout 76, but the Thor version. Alright, we get green. And we get black. Alright, it's fine. How's it going there? We want black first because I have a cut down, potentially. Okay, I don't have to cut anything down. Verge. Now I gotta know where to run, potentially. And if he's got nothing else, I'll Fenrir. Huh, okay. Fenrir. Ramparino. I don't know why I picked black, because I have a lot of black cards, I guess. I don't think the color matters right now. Trample lifelink. I will just throw Yuna out here. He can use it to kill Yuna, but if he doesn't, I can get in for 3 damage. Kutsul's flanker. Is he gonna block? It'll be so bad if he blocks, but hey, you know, I'm all for it. Dude. Alright, time to teach him how Yuna works. Let's get a green. No, let's get a white. I have 2 green in hand. Next turn's Virtue turn. And he really didn't do anything. Enduring Innocence. Okay, I could kill the Enduring Innocence at the cost of all of my mana. Is that worth it? He gets it back, right? But then I get to deal... Otherwise my Fenrir dies. I don't want that to happen. Man, this is kind of tricky. I gotta say, this is kind of... I mean, I definitely want to do this. Fenrir's not coming back because it's got the vitality. The forever counter on it. If Virtue just get hit, I don't think that's worth it either. Guess we'll go for the attack first, see what he wants to do. No blocks. Alright, I'm not killing the Enduring Innocence anyways, so... let's play on the heaviest curve. I mean... alright, you know, at some point, it'd be nice to not get a land as a top deck, but guess we're not there yet. Fountain Pour? Right end. Can't stop that. I can do this. Okay. I guess we play her again. Oh, I did. Right. I thought I had a combat phase. I did not have a combat phase. Do you have a creature to play? Dude! How about some... I don't even know if I want to throw Yuna out there like that. He gets to draw an extra card every turn. I get to draw an extra land every turn. Finally! Alright, first wave attack. We play our Overlord. I don't know if they have any kill spells, or they would have used it, right? This also gives it trample. So if you just use the Fountain Pour here. Oh! Okay, so 5 to get a treasure. 1, 2, 3, 4. He can shoot Yuna for 5. Yeah, you come at Yuna for 5 you want. He didn't come at Yuna for 5, so we're just gonna go in for the damage. Fountain Pour for a fish. I'm sorry, but I'm trample. Yeah, again, I'm sorry, I'm trample. It's not how trample works. GG? I don't know what happened. We flooded like crazy, but we got there. Alright, our opponent is the Japan Pirate T. Well, Pirate T is going first. We're playing Golgari right here. If we're going first, this is a very good hand. Going second means we're going to interact before we get to Overlord, which is terrible. Or we Overlord and then we just get overrun, which is also terrible. Let's try our luck. Ah, never mind, we just came to rest. Or that's happening. Yeah, I don't know if we can out-ramp them. Definitely tricky. It could be a Sephiroth's turn right now. No, tap land, so not Sephiroth. Alright. Town Greeter, he started milling. Oh, and milled 2 Beanstalks. But the diamond weapon will come out pretty quickly here. What do I have to destroy diamond weapons? I don't even think I have anything. He's gonna kill my Overlord? No, he's just letting it go. I can bring out this Overlord, try to race him, or I can Dredger's inside and try to race him this way. There's a stick. I don't know what that stick is, but there's a stick. Alright, I'm showing him Yuna. It's probably bad, but I gotta show him something, right? Let's ramp the hell out of this. One, two, three, four, five, six. One more land I can Overlord. There is that. Don't think Overlord fights the diamond weapon very well though. Right? Yeah, it doesn't fight the diamond weapon very well. I can't exile his graveyard. Not with this deck. He's got his Overlord. Okay. If he uses up any more mana, he can't fight Yuna. So I'm okay with that if he wants to do that. He did put out a diamond weapon, which means he can't fight Yuna no more. That's good. Right? That's... What do? We summon Titan? We summon Fenrir. We gotta summon something. Alright, this is going to be a big hit. Unfortunately, we had a Concealed Courtyard, which come into play tapped, so we have to fight the tap land. If it was an untapped land, this would have been so much better. Overwhelming Remorse, so there goes our Yuna. There's a legendary artifact creature, so I can't even go for to throw it. Another Overwhelming Remorse. Alright, double Remorse is pretty bad. I mean, I got a cut down. Might as well use it. Down to 8. Here's the Swarm. Ooh, that's not good, right? That's just a land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 mana. Let's see what he wants to do. Not easy. Just full swing. Like that, right? Guess we chump. I don't want to lose my Overlord to Mistmoors. Unless he has third Overwhelming Remorse. He definitely could. Okay. Rubber Bell Maverick. What's this last card? Getting around this Beanstalk is important, but other than that, nothing else in my hand is worth anything, unfortunately. Jesus. Alright, and we have so many things in the graveyard. Nothing really fancy though. I have one Virtue. Oh, he milled it. I guess he didn't want the Haywire Might. Oh boy, that is a card. What can I bring back? Nothing fancy. Guess we attack first. You're gonna take 6? No, he blocks. Makes sense to block here. We're gonna hardcast this Overlord. Odin! How you doing there, buddy? It's been a while. And we also have the second Hauntwood. Okay, we might be able to turn it around. Very slight might. But, you know, I'll take it. He's got 2 lands. Souls of the Lost. That's a pretty big creature. Sacks to kill one of this. Okay. I chump. Anything else? It's got 1 more card. Go for the throw. Oh, and the Virtue. Right on time too. Alright, well, I think we Primal. I think we attack first. There's a lot of damage already. And we get so much triggers. We get a Fenrir back. Down to 3. Can't kill him yet, but I could. Primal Odin this. So our Gunganir is going to kill him. Chapter 1. Ah, we got it! I didn't think it was going to outpace him, but he actually milled 2 Beanstalk, so he had no card advantage after that. Alright, our opponent is the Little Donut. Little Donut's going to do some big things. Because he gets to go first. Alright, well, 3 fast lands. Pretty lucky for that, but aside from that, we're going to have to try to get our luck some other place with our draws. Portico, Mortuary. I wonder what our opponent's playing. Mirror much? Alright, well, I couldn't get the Overlord back, but here's a Yuna. Mace. Drops the lockdown, plays the Beanstalk. Okay. And it's on. Unfortunately, me saying it's on doesn't actually help because I don't have anything else. Fenrir would have been great last turn. Guess we're Fenriring next turn. He's probably just going to play Overlord here. Yeah, we're off by one turn. 1 whole freaking turn. And you have a white ley line, so not gonna be able to get around that. Not very easily, anyways. Wastefoot Verge. Fenrir. White? Yeah, that's the only white lands I have, so I get another white. He's probably gonna hold up his white ley line, but I don't know what else he is. He can play Yuna. Won't be very good here. I don't have anything to bring back, honestly. If he plays Yuna, I can't really stop him. Alright! Our opponent's gonna take the coward's way out. Alright, our opponent is the cube is better. Well, I'm gonna agree with that. Unfortunately, there's no cube format on Arena, so here we are. I have 2 greens. Maybe I'll get somewhere with that. Mainly it's just is it. Actually, is it? Did they run Thundering Falls? Or is it Jeskai? Jeskai is scary. Yeah, it's Jeskai. Jeskai is scary. Not gonna lie. This is turn 2, right? Do I care about 1 extra life? Probably not. I want that land to be untapped. Although this might just get countered anyways. If Jeskai is just swinging counter skier there. probably has multiple counters if that was the case. Yeah, he probably has multiple counters, so if I play... I mean, getting Yuna out under with the Dredger's Insight is not really worth that much. Too many dead cards in hand. If I play Overlord and Overlord gets countered, what happens next? Oh, I didn't get countered. Alright. I have an Overlord out now. So he didn't have a counter spell. Get lost in my Overlord. Interesting plan. Ah, and the lockdown. Okay. Unfortunately, all of my cards are my lands are tapped, so not gonna be able to Yuna next turn. If I had untapped land there, it would have been different. Do I just drop the Dredger's Insight? She's probably had counterspell at this point. Do I take the Overlord or do I take the Fenrir? I think I take the Overlord. So if I play the Overlord and it gets countered, kind of defeats the purpose. But I think if he had a counter, he probably would have... No. Here's the thing, though. Here's my thought process. He probably has a counter spell, but it only counters unless I pay 2. So... that would not have been smart to do that. 6 mana. Oh, third cut down. Just what I needed. Or maybe it's a no more lies. Counter unless I pay 3. Yeah, again, if I play it, it's kind of a pointless feed into the counterspell. Don't have duress, so I'll never know what our opponent's doing. Can't draw land, so I can't actually outpace his counterspells. No, it's giving me a land. Okay, that's good. Torch. I don't really need this cut down. Do I need another green? Another white? I have 1 white. So I could use another white. I have 3 green, and I have 3 black. Just 1 white. I'm gonna go for the throat. Yuna's definitely getting countered here, right? Throwing out Yuna, does that do me any good? Yuna also might just get killed. Gotta do something. He's just giving blue-white time is asking for trouble. Alright, count unless I paid 2. I knew I had it. Does he have another counter though? I'm gonna throw out the Virtue. Wow, he lets the Virtue out. He's probably got to get lost though. If he has to get lost, he probably use it right now, right? It's kind of the only time. Bounces my land. Why didn't they bounce my Virtue? Alright. Copy. Oh, there's a get lost. That's why. Alright, you got your thing. Probably still has another counter spell. I do have this, and I do have a cut down. I can bring back another Virtue. I can also bring back Gungnir. I don't need to bring back another Virtue. I could just Hardcast Virtue. So I think Gungnir is... well, not Gungnir. Odin. Odin's where it's at. And I also have Overlord of the Balemurk. So he has to wipe this board. Which then allows me the Virtue. What else does he have? Torch, 2 counter spells, Surveil. Also, if he doesn't block, the Odin will get him. So he probably wants to block next turn. Or kill this board. These control decks, man. They always drag it on. Lightning Helix. Alright. Odin's gone. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 mana. Still think I start with... No, maybe I just start with the attack. Let's bring back a Yuna. Huh. What double Virtue? Let's see what he says about that. I'm at 22 at double Virtue. Maybe he has Jace. Maybe he's trying to win with Jace. I only have 28 lands. Or 28 cards left. Ultima does not break enchantments. And Get Lost only breaks once. Even if he Get Lost and then, was it Shiko, another Get Lost, I can just Yuna it back. So he needs to kill 3 things on board this turn. Day Judgment. Okay, it kills Yuna. Do I have any instant sorcery spells that's worthwhile? I don't think so, no. Shiko. Helix. The last gasp of a desperate man. I don't want your Shiko, honestly. I'll take a Yuna. And I will also take Overlord. Yeah, GG. This 2 Virtue is overwhelming against most control decks. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you saw all those standard Yuna games, how does this deck feel? I brought back a lot of creatures with Yuna, and I brought back a lot of creatures with Virtue. This deck did exactly what I thought it was going to do, and just chained that combo like no one's business. This deck is actually very quick, surprisingly quick. I thought about this deck when I was making it because, well, the net deck somewhat here nor there, but I looked at a lot of the Yuna decks, and a few of the Yuna decks have the Beanstalk package, like a Zerg deck would, and a few didn't. And I really gravitated to the ones that didn't have the Beanstalk package because I think it takes it away. You don't want enchantments in a graveyard. So instead of the Beanstalk, we have Dredger's Insight. It doesn't draw us cards, but actually Impulse draws 4 cards into the graveyard. That's insanely good for this deck because if we have 8 of these cards that fills up the graveyard, then we are guaranteed for a unit to hit enchantment in the graveyard. Actually 9 if you count Summon Titan, right? So Yuna can hit any enchantment in the graveyard, and almost all enchantment in the graveyard has some good ETB effects. You can just hit Dredger's Insight and keep that chain going. You can hit Overlord and hit to keep that chain going. You can hit Summon Titan and keep that chain going while ramping us. But more importantly, we can hit Virtue. That's the whole idea. The whole idea here when I saw this combo is Yuna hitting Virtue is opponent going bye-bye. Alright, so today I didn't really face that many red decks, and so I don't know how well this deck will fare against those, but looking at this package, I think it'll be fair. I think it'll be fine, right? We have a lot of removal, and don't forget, Yuna gives all of our enchantment triple lifelink. So we have big beast stick in the Overlords, and if they get lifelink, well, we're not going to get outraced or outpaced by a silly little mouse. I think. Hopefully. Who knows? Right, that's kind of the idea. I still really like this deck, and I really like Yuna as a card. I said this before. Every time I record, I always talk about Final Fantasy. The set looks fire. The set looks really, really fun. But they don't look very good because of the, you know, Corey Steel cutters and stupid mouse stuff. And those decks are too fast for any Final Fantasy deck to really, or really any Final Fantasy card to really have an impact. But Yuna might put a stop to that idea. Just the fact that we get lifelink might be good enough, even though it's 5 casts. In a ramp deck, 5 classes turn 4, and if we're going to start gaining life on turn 4, we might be able to fight those mouse decks. That's my idea, and that's what I got for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.